Hi, Jimmy Crow speaking from Stefancio, Moscow. This behemoth certainly just pillar. I use it to be a little bit high during the stream because at the moment I have some problems with camera. And but the Bible uses behemoth as another designation of the fantastic animal, just like Leviathan. So I'm a victorious sitter on the behemoth and Leviathan also. As concerns news, that American airstrike killed another leader of Al Qaeda. You see, do not kill. Whether do not kill means that you will not kill your neighbor, the citizen of the same state where you live, or in general. This is an old question, and I believe that we cannot kill anyone because any man is the image of God. Simply. What does it mean? I think that at the moment I will use the explanation of Leo Tolstoy because he said, I'm reading his diaries, 1910, April. They are all published. And he's very old, he's very tired. Still, he rides a horse and he writes in his diary that what is most necessary to understand is that another man has inside the same world, the same self-consciousness, the same self-awareness of his existence as you. Because what I have inside, it's something mysterious, but this is myself. For example, when we begin our way to God, our way to the sense of life, I think that the first sign of this route is the question of this small child of 6 or 7 years old: how can I die? Does it mean by death that the world will continue to exist and I will disappear? Nonsense. Improbable. I am who I am. And I know from inside by my own experience that I'm eternal. My existence is eternal, whether you like it or not. So feel, understand, says Tolstoy, that the same feeling is inside of you. And at the end, and Tolstoy was at his end, and I'm also 65, certainly it's not 41, but it's, well, it's so close. Oh, 70, 66, 67. Just yes, tomorrow I will be as old as Leo Tolstoy. The question, I understand that the world will continue after myself will die. So, and still I don't believe this. No, I know it by my head. Tolstoy said that at the moment, half a year before his death, he said that he's in a state of equinox. It's no difference for him to live or to die. And I think he was sincere. It's just one of the stages of dying, of agony. No difference. So when I kill anyone, I don't understand that inside this anyone there is the same eternity, the same image of God, because God's image is this self-evident existence inside of me. I'm a small God. God was before the creation of everything. Yeah. So everything will disappear. I will remain. And when I kill another man, I demonstrate that I don't believe in his humanness, full humanness and full divinity. Or I'm so cruel that still I kill. That means that I can kill God. And this is why it is so important for me to understand that Jesus was not just one of the people with Messiah complex. He was not just one of these numerous religious guru. He was God. And when he was killed, creation demonstrated that it is eternal and God is something temporal. And I think this is what we demonstrate every day of our life to God and to another human. I'm eternal, you are temporary. You will perish, I will last forever. So I have a right to kill you because I'm eternal. To put it in another way, I was asked why, for me personally, I think that, for example, Noam Chomsky is mistaken when he says that NATO provoked the present war in Ukraine. This is a very widespread idea. And first of all, this is the idea of Putin and those Russians who support the war, that NATO, by taking new members, former countries of the Soviet bloc, provoked our aggression because it was spreading. It was becoming the danger for us, a challenge, and we've prevented it by the aggression to Ukraine. Ukraine is not in NATO, but to prevent, you must be quick. You must not wait for something. This is a very widespread idea, but it is completely wrong, because certainly NATO is a danger, but it is the danger and the challenge of the second order. The danger and the challenge of the first order is Russia, is Kremlin's desire to conquer everything. We began the occupation of these countries, Poland, Lithuania, Estonia, in 1939. We, together with Hitler's Germany, were the people who began the Second World War. And you must understand that here in Russia, most people don't believe this. They don't understand that the war began in 1939. They speak about the Great Patriotic War of 1941, when Hitler attacked Russia, invaded Russia, to 1945. And what been in the September of 1939? It was just politics. Russia is really a danger to the world, to all the world, including China, by the way. Should we have a possibility with conquer China also? Why not? And we had the war in China in the beginning of the 20th century. Russia is a military state. Anyway, NATO was created absolutely logically and to prevent, to oppose, better to say, the Russian aggression, because it was Russia who violated agreements with United States, Great Britain, and so on in Yalta, and destroyed the independence of Poland, of Hungary, and so on and so forth. Because we've promised that they will be free countries. Hitler didn't conquer them. We've conquered them under the title of the Soviet bloc, but it was just another name of the Russian Empire. Challenge of the second order. And you see, certainly September 11 was a great crime, but the revenge for this crime was the war of the first order, because the attack was not promoted by countries, states, and the revenge was aimed at the countries and states, Afghanistan and Iraq. Although we remember that bin Laden was from Saudi Arabia. And now, when Americans killed the leader of the Al Qaeda in Kabul, it seems to me, I don't remember at the moment, it was to prevent or to revenge. I'm afraid it is both. The element of revenge is very strong in any killing. Even if we kill a man who didn't make us any evil, any wrong, we revenge what for? We revenge for our fear. We revenge for our our helplessness. And there is one more side. Who helped Russia to wage wars in Chechnya, in Georgia, 2008, in Ukraine? Who helped? Who sold arms, high technologies, so on and so forth? The West and the United States, first of all. You've helped to Russia. And they didn't help. I was against all these wars. This is why I was and I still remain the marginal in my own country. I'm a free man here, but I'm an enemy of state here. Although I'm free at the moment, thanks Lord, hallelujah. But I'm under instant danger of arrest and persecution. And they won't leave Russia. Let Putin leave it. He has enough money to live in states and I don't. So, states in 1990s helped to Yeltsin because they've been cheated by his speeches about freedom, democracy? No, because it was good for the American military complex. Yeah. And anyway, states helped to Stalin in 1929, 1930, 31. It was the policy of the United States to help Russia of Stalin. American workers, engineers created the military complex in Russia in 1930s. They helped Russia to begin the Second World War, just like Ford helped to Hitler. You know this, I hope, yes. So, to prevent a war, you must not sell arms. You must be more attentive to the real sense of what people are doing, not to the speeches only. So any war, any killing is the revenge for your own light-mindedness, but you will kill innocent people because you cannot kill Osama bin Laden without killing some other people in his neighborhood, in the vicinity. It's always just one and the same story. One, people you kill who is guilty from your point of view, and 4 people will be killed innocent, sometimes more. West killed hundreds of thousands in Iraq and in Afghanistan. Whether they all been the members of Al-Qaeda? Nonsense. They've just been in vicinity. And this is the violation of one of the principles of the just war. You must not kill non-combatants. But I want to connect this idea and this theme with the first theme, challenge. You see, whether Saudi Arabia is the challenge to the United States. No, not now. But do you remember how Mujahideens have appeared? United States trying to oppose Russia in Afghanistan in 1980s, helped the Mujahideens. They've helped to the Osama bin Laden also to oppose Russia in Afghanistan. Now, Biden visited Saudi Arabia and shook hands, and even more, with the Saudi prince who've killed the American journalist and citizen. Yes, no persecution, no bombing, no rockets in the house of this criminal. Just shaking hands. We are friends. You will help us with petrol. And this will help us to overcome Russian aggression towards Ukraine, which is our forepost. Do you think that it is possible to find, to make business with Saudi Arabia and to prevent the war with Saudi Arabia in some distant future? It is impossible. You're just breeding another mortal enemy. Because in order to overcome Russia, you must be in the company with Saudi Arabia, and then you will overcome Russia, and Saudi Arabia will become your enemy, your challenge. So to overcome one challenge, you create another challenge. To gain victory today, you're killing your day after tomorrow. Do not kill. Do not lie. Do not be an idiot. Do not be a capitalist who sells arms to his future enemy. And anyone to whom you sell arms is your future enemy. Because arms, they are not for the production of grain. You see, you don't know. Yes, arms do not kill. Guns do not kill. People kill. That means that when you produce arms and guns and so on and so forth, you do not work for agriculture. You just produce and killing, the first stage of killing. Stop it. And then how to overcome Russia or China or Saudi Arabia or Iraq or any other aggression? How to prevent Canada waging war towards the United States or Mexico or Texas against Washington? I don't know. You're more clever than myself. So you'll invent something. Invent something peaceful, please. This is the sense of the commandment, do not kill. Invent something more positive. Jimmy Carter, Moscow. Bye.